Welcome to a new Draw My Life video.
The invasion of the Spanish troops over the Aztec Empire in the 16th century led to the end of this great civilization and the origin at the same time of many legends. Among these, there is one that shines, the legend about its great treasure, one of the biggest treasures ever seen by humans. Back then, this empire was the most powerful in the continent. It had more than 15 million inhabitants and it was spread all over Mexico. Many regions had been subdued by the government of the capital, Tenochtitlan, and they paid a regular fee, so the state coffers were pretty full. It all started on November 8, 1519, when the Spanish explorer Hernán Cortés finally made it to the capital, leading 518 soldiers, 16 horsemen, and 13 arquebusiers. The emperor back then, Moctezuma II, was forced to welcome him, since he was the emissary of another emperor, Charles V of Germany and First of Spain. Cortés managed to earn his trust and stay with his troops in the Axayacatl palace, which had belonged to Moctezuma's father. Once settled, they asked for permission to build a Christian chapel inside the palace. This task was given to one of the Spanish soldiers, Alonso Yáñez. When he started to work, he found a mortar door in the wall. He immediately ran to let Cortés and his mates know. Of course, they didn't hesitate to bring the wall down without telling their hosts. What they found behind that wall left them speechless. They had never seen such a great deal of wealth, so many gold pieces and plates together. It was the treasure Moctezuma's father, the Emperor Axayacatl, had collected during his 12 years in the power. The Spanish took it and put it with the loot they had got on their trip to the capital. By then, Cortés and his army already had control over the city, and they took Emperor Moctezuma as their prisoner and vassal. They tried to use him to calm the population down and be able to leave the city peacefully, taking the gold with them. But the Spanish explorer had to face an unexpected problem. The governor of Cuba, Diego Velázquez, sent an arrest warrant against Cortés. Since he had gone on the expedition without official permission, he sent an army with 19 boats, 1,400 men and 80 horses, and 20 artillery pieces to capture him. The Spanish explorer had to run away from the capital for some months to confront them, though he actually came out victorious and made it back to the palace. But by then, the situation in Tenochtitlan had changed. People were furious after all the abuse they had suffered from the Spanish, including the killing of several Aztec noblemen who were supposedly organizing a rebellion. Cortés tried to use Moctezuma again to calm people down, but the only response he got from them was a shower of stones and arrows that hurt the emperor and actually led to his death days after. Finally, on June 20, 1520, Cortés and his men decided to escape sneakily during the night, but they were forced to leave behind most of the treasure. They were only able to take a cart with a fifth part of what corresponded by law to the Emperor Charles V, and those pieces that the soldiers could carry among their belongings. Still, they lost the element of surprise in the end. They were discovered by a woman. She was collecting water, and when she saw them, she raised the alarm. Soon, thousands of Aztec warriors went on them, leading to a massacre where around 600 Spanish died. Lots of them were thrown to the lake that surrounded the city and drowned to death. They sunk with all the weight of the gold and the armors. The Aztecs got their gold back, and Cortés, even though he survived the attack, he had to confront the law when he went back to his country. The revenge of the Spanish troops was frightening. Some days later, a greater number of them went back and subdued the capital in the Battle of Otumba, with a big number of local casualties. Cuauhtémoc, the last Aztec emperor, was captured and tortured to have him reveal the location of the treasure. He ended up confessing that had thrown it into the lake to hide it. The Spanish tracked everything thoroughly, but they didn't find anything other than some little pieces. With time, the treasure became an obsession for adventurers and explorers, who in the following centuries carried out many search expeditions, among them the son of Hernán himself, Martín Cortés. But none of them was successful. Nowadays, the location of one of the biggest fortunes ever, the Aztec Gold, is still unknown.
If you enjoyed enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!